He rose as the magician who turned impossibilities into pure magic, dazzling the world with a smile that captured millions. However, it's yet another case of a staggering and brilliant peak, followed by a quick and melancholic downfall. Despite being a magician with the ball at his feet and able to make the world stop to watch his moves, Ronaldinho left behind the feeling that he could have achieved more. But why? Why is the wizard seen as one of the players who didn't fully reach his potential? Could it be that we expected too much from him? Or was Ronaldinho truly a genius, or just an illusion? Let's dive into this incredible story. Ronaldo de Assis Moreira, better known as Ronaldinho Gaucho, was born on March 21, 1980, in Porto Alegre, Brazil. Football ran in his blood. His father, João, was a shipyard worker and former amateur footballer, and his brother, Roberto Assis, also pursued the sport professionally. Inspired by his family, Ronaldinho began honing his skills on the streets and futsal courts of Ronaldinho's professional football journey began in 1998, when he debuted for Grêmio at just 17 years old. Some might assume that the young wizard played his first game in a friendly or a state championship match, as he was just starting his career. However, Ronaldinho was already recognized as an outstanding player in the youth ranks, and his debut came in none other than the Copa Libertadores against Vasco on March 4th. In that match, Ronaldinho already showed glimpses of how crucial he would become even at such a young age. He delivered the corner kick that led to Grêmio's victory with a header from Guilherme. That day, in front of 42,000 fans, Ronaldinho made his statement and showed he was here to leave his mark. Later in the same Libertadores campaign, he scored his first professional goal, this time against Chivas on March 31st. In that match, Grêmio secured a 2-0 victory, with Ronaldinho contributing a goal and an assist. Despite Grêmio not winning any titles that year, the 17-year-old Ronaldinho had already proven he was something special. He ended the season with 31 matches played, 24 as a starter, and 6 goals, a remarkable record for a teenager. Following such a promising debut, the expectation was that the young wizard would shine even brighter the following year. And that's exactly what happened. In 1999, Ronaldinho soared at Grêmio, delivering a historic season. It was then that his true impact began to unfold, and fans became certain they were witnessing one of the greatest young talents in Brazilian football history. In 2001, Ronaldinho embarked on his European adventure, signing with Paris Saint-Germain in France, a move that marked the beginning of his rise to global stardom. The transition to European football wasn't without its hurdles, adapting to a new style of play, the pressures of high expectations, and occasional disagreements with the club's management, showing his addictions to party, girls, and alcohol. But Ronaldinho's natural brilliance soon eclipsed any difficulties. Donning the number 21 jersey, he quickly became a fan favorite, dazzling crowds with his extraordinary dribbles, jaw-dropping skill, and a flair that made him seem more artist than athlete. Every touch of the ball carried a sense of unpredictability, a reminder that with Ronaldinho, the impossible was always possible. His highlights included mesmerizing solo runs, audacious free kicks, and an infectious joy that lit up even the grimmest of matches. Though internal team challenges sometimes clouded his time in Paris, his performances in Ligue 1 and the UEFA Cup left no doubt that he was destined for greatness. Ronaldinho didn't just play football, he redefined it, catching the attention of Europe's most prestigious clubs and setting the stage for what would become a legendary career. In the early 2000s, La Liga witnessed Real Madrid's Galactico era dominate both the Spanish and European football scene. For Barcelona, this was one of the darkest periods in its history. This is why Ronaldinho's influence is so hard to quantify. Judging his time at the club solely by numbers would be unfair. His true impact lay in the sense of self-belief he brought to Barcelona. In the Champions League, Barcelona was eliminated in the round of 16 by Chelsea, but Ronaldinho still had a strong campaign, playing 7 matches, scoring 4 goals, and providing 2 assists. Despite posting better stats than the previous season, where he scored 13 goals in 42 games, it was his transformative influence that truly defined his legacy. This impact was recognized when he was named FIFA World Player of the Year for the first time in 2004, surpassing Thierry Henry and other top players. In 2005, there was no contest. Ronaldinho was indisputably the best player on the planet. During the 2005-2006 season, he reached the peak of his career, playing a decisive role in Barcelona's dominance of Europe. Following a La Liga title the previous season, Barcelona repeated the feat, clinching the league again. However, the most memorable moment came in the Clásico against Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabéu. At the time, Real Madrid was favored, especially playing at home. Yet, Ronaldinho single-handedly turned the match, scoring 2 goals and earning a standing ovation from the opposing fans. This underscored the magnitude of his influence. Moreover, he led Barcelona to its second Champions League title, scoring 7 goals and providing 4 assists in 12 matches. In total, during the 2005-2006 season, Ronaldinho played 47 matches, scored 27 goals, and delivered 12 assists. In 2006, he was named the world's most commercially valuable player, with his image valued at €47 million. Ronaldinho was the face of football and seemed destined to become the greatest figure in Barcelona's 21st century history. However, the story took a different turn. During the 2007-2008 season, Ronaldinho struggled with injuries and rarely took to the pitch. His frequent partying, late-night clubbing, and struggles with alcohol began to take a toll on his professionalism, leading to a pattern of arriving late to practices. With the arrival of Pep Guardiola as head coach and the addition of new players to the squad, Ronaldinho gradually lost his place in the team, signaling a turning point in his career. On May 19, 2008, club president Joan Laporta declared that Ronaldinho needed new challenges. Manchester City offered €25 million for him, but he declined and chose AC Milan instead, where he donned the number 80 jersey. In 2004 and 2005, Ronaldinho was named FIFA World Player of the Year, cementing his status as the best in the world. In 2005, he won the prestigious Ballon d'Or. Few players in history have brought such joy and creativity to the game. The first great moment of the player in the Brazilian national team was in the 1999 Copa America, where he emerged on the world stage. However, only 3 years later came Ronaldinho's greatest moment with the national team, the 2002 World Cup. Called up by Luis Felipe Scolari, he was a starter in most matches. While some claim Ronaldinho wasn't influential in the tournament, that's far from the truth. Of course, he wasn't the protagonist like Ronaldo or Rivaldo, but he was crucial to the victory, as evidenced by the match against England. Ronaldinho scored a spectacular free-kick goal and provided the assist for Rivaldo's goal, all in a World Cup quarter-final. In that competition, he played 7 matches, scoring 3 goals and providing 2 assists. This was the moment Ronaldinho showcased his true value to the world and why he deserved to be considered one of the best players in football history. However, if the 2002 World Cup marked Ronaldinho's peak, the 2006 World Cup marked his lowest point. That tournament was a colossal disappointment for the Brazilian national team overall, but few players were as heavily criticized as Ronaldinho. The team's preparation for the World Cup was flawed, with open training sessions, parties, and the players treated like celebrities. Ronaldinho entered the tournament as the reigning World Player of the Year, but failed to perform. Many blamed the tactical system and his assigned position, as he wasn't used to playing as an attacking midfielder with defensive responsibilities. Even when he returned to his preferred position during the quarter-final match against France, he struggled, at one point even tripping over the ball. It was a lackluster World Cup campaign, with Ronaldinho playing 5 matches and recording just 1 assist. It may have been the worst performance by a Ballon d'Or winner in World Cup history. One example of fan frustration was in Santa Catarina, a Brazilian state where a statue of Ronaldinho, erected specifically for the World Cup, was set on fire following the team's poor performance. After the 2006 World Cup, Ronaldinho was called up for the 2008 Olympics, where Brazil was eliminated in the semifinals by Argentina. 2 years later, the 2010 World Cup in South Africa arrived. Many hoped to see Ronaldinho there, as he had been part of the qualification cycle. However, Coach Dunga surprised everyone by leaving him out of the squad. As we know, Brazil failed to win that tournament. Finally, Ronaldinho had his last cycle with the Brazilian national team in 2012 when the head coach Mano Menezes recalled him. His final appearance for Brazil came against Chile on April 24, 2013. The truth is that Ronaldinho never managed to replicate his club success with the national team. Regardless of whether the reasons were tactical or otherwise, he never became the leader fans expected him to be, the kind of figure Ronaldo and Rivaldo were. He also wasn't the partner Neymar needed, leaving the younger player to shoulder a heavy burden from a young age. Recently, a poll was conducted in the community to gauge public opinion on whether Ronaldinho truly ranks among the greatest players of all time. Well, he certainly does. There is no issue with placing him among the top 10 players in history. After all, we're talking about the greatest artist in the history of the sport. He deserves to be part of the conversation about the top 10 players of all time. At AC Milan, despite still being part of one of the world's biggest clubs, Ronaldinho was no longer the same player. He had flashes of brilliance, but couldn't replicate the performances of his earlier years. In his first season, he played 36 matches and scored 10 goals. In the second, he appeared in 43 games and netted 15 goals, but his physical and technical impact had diminished. Frustrated with his situation, Ronaldinho decided to return to Brazil in hopes of being closer to a potential call-up for the 2014 World Cup. Many expected him to rejoin Grêmio, but to everyone's surprise, he signed with Flamengo in January 2011. At the Rio de Janeiro club, Ronaldinho had some memorable moments, including winning the Campeonato Carioca and the historic 5-4 victory over Santos, where he scored his first hat-trick in the Brasileirão. However, disputes over delayed payments and a strained relationship with the club, compounded by his misconduct involving parties and questionable lifestyle choices, ultimately led to the premature termination of his contract. In 1 year and 5 months at Flamengo, Ronaldinho played 74 matches and scored 28 goals. After leaving Flamengo, he joined Atlético Mineiro, where he experienced one of the last great periods of his career. He was a key player in the team's Copa Libertadores victory in 2013 and also helped win the Campeonato Mineiro and the Recopa Sudamericana. In total, he played 88 matches and scored 28 goals for Atlético. Following this success, Ronaldinho had stints with Querétaro in Mexico and Fluminense, but his career was already in decline. At Querétaro, he earned applause even from rival fans but couldn't deliver the same level of football. His time at Fluminense was brief, and he wasn't in the physical condition required to perform consistently. In 2018, Ronaldinho officially announced his retirement. His greatest moment with the Brazilian national team came in the 2002 World Cup, where he was instrumental in their title-winning campaign, especially with his stunning goal against England in the quarter-finals. However, his international career also had its disappointments, such as the 2006 World Cup.
Nowadays, Ronaldinho is selling his image with advertisement contracts around the world. Partying, dancing, drinking, and enjoying life with his brother Assis, he even was arrested for months during one of his trips. We have the most detailed documentary about his arrest on YouTube. You can click on the link above and check it out.
Ronaldinho ended his career as one of the most talented players in football history, but with the lingering sense that he could have achieved even more. And what about you? Do you think Ronaldinho missed the chance of being the greatest player of all time like Pelé or Maradona? Share your thoughts with us. If you like this video, you're going to love the next one. Don't forget to follow us, and thanks for watching.